Hi folks, today we're going to do a makeup chat vlog. Okay, something new, something different. See how it goes. Okay, first thing ladies, you always want to cleanse, wash your face, and load up on that friggin' face cream. I'm 37 and can't get enough. Can't get enough. And it also just helps the makeup go on less. You get less dry. You know, I'm not a friggin' makeup artist. You know what happens. Anyway, so just a tip that I use as I've gotten older, it's really been beneficial, is I get my sponge super wet, just with water, and then I use it to then, you know, spread it out, sponge it out. And by this, I mean your cover-up foundation, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so I'm going to do that off camera, and then we'll jump into it. Okay, here I go. Okay, so I just, like I said, I used the sponge, really got it wet, like really got it wet, and just use a bit of it, just a bit. That's why I don't do makeup stuff. Yeah, there we go. Okay, we're gonna move to the dining room for the rest. I just wanted to do this in here. Okay, let's go. Okay, here we are. We're at my dining room table because it has the brightest light aside from the washroom. It's less about the makeup regardless and more about the chat. Okay, so let's get going. I've never done the makeup and the talk filming, so just give me a break, y'all. So I already put my my mask on. Next, I will do my eyeshadow next. Now what's new? What's going on? It's been a hot minute since I've done a vlog, hasn't it? Well, we'll start with the car. So you all remember Andrew hit a deer I remember the date, January 28th. So we still are waiting to get our car back. The insurance company had their auto body people look at the car and they felt it was fixable. So they've been waiting for a part, so on and so forth, blah, blah, blah. Well, it's mid-March now, so they tell us we will get the car back this week. I'll let you know. We had the rental so long that we had to give it back. So we actually don't have a personal vehicle at the moment. So I've done a lot of cleaning, and yeah, I'm sure the dog's sick of me talking to him, let's be honest. So anyway, we're supposed to get our RAV4 back this week. It's Monday. I'm calling tomorrow. They said to call on Tuesday to find out the status. So everybody, send positive vibes. I want my vehicle back. Nowhere to go, but just in case, I want to be able to go, right? So that's where we're at with the vehicle. And I'm just looking forward to having it back. Now, what else is going on? I feel like it's been a little bit, so I should have a ton of things to tell you. What else? Oh, Laura and V are coming to visit. They're gonna come visit the last week of April. Laura's never been to Nova Scotia. She's bringing her little baby, V. We all know V. That cutie with the wild blonde hair. Yeah, that girl, she's coming. She'll be here almost a week, and I can't wait just to hang out and enjoy her company. Get to know, well, I already know V very well from when I was visiting London, but I get to spend some time with V again, and I'll get to tour her around Nova Scotia, and because we live close to Cape Breton, I'll bring her up to Cape Breton and drive her around and show her she wants to dip, Laura wants to dip V's toes in the Atlantic Ocean. And I said, it's going to be cold. She said, it's okay. It'll just be a quick dip. So we're going to dip V's toes and our toes in the Atlantic Ocean all together. So I haven't. I actually have done it, but not in April. So that's super exciting. Super exciting. I can't wait for her to come and spend time with me, and also just get to show her around Antigonish where we are, and yeah, I really look forward to it. It wasn't really planned. We were just chatting one night, and Andrew was in an amazing mood and said, book it. And I said, well, we don't, she's on mother allowance. She's off with the baby. Like, when she gets a little money, she will. And he said, no, I'll pay for it. I'll pay for it. It's a gift. And her flight, round trip, Hamilton, Ontario to Halifax, Nova Scotia, and back, with tax, $180 something. And then we'll pick her up in Halifax, which is 2-hour drive from where we live. So I'm so thankful to Andrew for giving us this gift of spending time together and just letting me show Laura where we live, and I'm okay. Everyone thinks I'm not okay, but I'm okay. Yeah, so that's super exciting. Also, that inspired me to encourage Andrew to hang up all of our art on the walls in the living room, kitchen, and hallway. So it's incredible when you put things on your walls, what a difference it makes. Gunner's crying. I think he has to go out. I'll be right back. Hey. Okay, so it's just time for mascara and tickly. We'll finish up the makeup, and then I'll show you the stuff Andrew hung. And then everyone does their mascara different, but you know how to do that. Anyway, since we're almost done here, I just wanted to talk about one other thing. Long and short of it, I had added my sister's friend who went with us to celebrate Ian's 4th birthday. He's in that video. I added him to Facebook one day. I didn't look him up. He popped up as you know, someone you may know, or whatever that's called, that comes up on your news feed. And I was like, oh, I know Nathan. That's Rebecca's friend. So without thinking, I just add. Fast forward a week or so. Andrew and I and Andrew's apprentice went down to spend the night with her at her place, and I was only spending one night, and they were going to spend, Andrew and his apprentice were spending 2 because they were doing a job there, and not at her cottage, but nearby. So I went for one night, not realizing that when I had added her neighbor to Facebook, my sister, was, and she's a bit older, she's 18 years older than me, and her neighbor's my age. She was so angry at me for adding him to Facebook, and she just kept saying, you hated him, why would you add him? And I never hated him. I never hated him. And she just kept saying that, you know, if you hated him, why would you add him to Facebook? Like, over and over, and louder, and speaking over me. I had to excuse myself and go to the washroom, where I immediately deleted Nathan, this friend of hers, off of Facebook. Sat in the bathroom, tried to gather my thoughts, and I really couldn't. I was so confused. So I went back out. Oh, and her and I are at lunch with our father, our 77-year-old father. And he excuses himself to step outside, and she starts once again verbally attacking me. And I stood up. I firmly said, "You're fucked," because she also told me that her and her counselor think that I am jealous. Of what exactly, I'm not sure, but at that point, I stood up when she said that. This is my almost 56-year-old sister. Yelling at me, making me look terrible, in front of our father in a very busy pub. So I had to stand up, and I firmly said to her, "You're a bum," and left. Found my dad outside smoking, and I was so upset and shocked and confused that my dad gave me a cigarette and I smoked half of it, and I feel guilty about that, but I didn't know what to do with myself. Yeah, so I spent a little while thinking and going over what happened and the whole situation, and yeah, very confusing. Siblings are interesting, aren't they? Anyway, that's my vlog about that. And you never, ever forget your blush. A girl always needs her blush. Now, I always do a nice kind of, I do my apples, and I like to do them like a little bit of a darker, not darker, but I guess a darker blush tone, and then I use a lighter one, and I go over the whole thing. Okay, are we ready to go check out my makeup and check out the stuff Andrew hung? I am. Okay, here we go. Hi folks. Okay, finished product. That's with glasses on. So this is just my, I don't know what look you call that. Everyday natural look. Okay, but now let's look at the now let's go look at the stuff Andrew hung. Okay, come with me. Okay, here we go. Let me turn on the whole light. So these were postcards that my dad's wife Leela had. My dad gave them to me, and we just put them in frames from the dollar store, but they look great. So that's the old courthouse in London, Ontario. And that's St. Paul's Cathedral on Richmond Row, or Richmond Street. So they're here. And there's our back door. And then that's at the corner of Talbot and Dundas, where the JLC is now. And then this is Eldon House, the oldest house in London. So we just hung those down there. Well, I shouldn't say we, Andrew. This is Wortley Village. That's the Black Walnut. Okay. Okay, there's Andrew's King of Spades. And now we're kind of like in the dining room area. And this we had hung up. It was the first thing we hung up. It's my grandfather's, sorry if it's dark. It's my grandfather's map of Scotland. My dad was born in Scotland. Anyways, and his father was a teacher, and this was on one of those old school scrolls that you like pull down that they used to have in front of the chalkboards. And then over here is that is, sorry, now we're getting glare. So this is Thorny Devil. And that's where Andrew and I first met. That bar right there. And then this is a beautiful painting of the house I grew up in. And Andrew and I lived there together until we moved to Nova Scotia. Sorry about all the glare. And then this was just old school townhouse section, just further down the street from where my house was, on Askin Street in London. And then this is now gone, but this was a cafe called the Little Red Roaster, and it was in Wortley Village. And that's everything. That's it for now. Bye, folks.